Hello, welcome to our qigong session today. Today we're going to do a seated qigong session. So we've done one of these before, but we thought it'd be really good to do another one because we know a lot of people will be participating in the general qigong sessions that I do seated anyway. So we want to make sure that we are providing, a specific session for those people. So sometimes we might want to do seated for different reasons. So sometimes it might be that obviously, there's a disability and you are in a wheelchair perhaps, or you have a disability that means it's difficult to stand for a long period of time. Sometimes as well, it might be something around energy levels. You might be struggling with something like fatigue. There could be all kinds of reasons. But I want you to know that seated qigong is a really, really great option. And you're still going to get so much benefit from the practice. I'm going to gently walk you through it and show you how to adapt the moves that we usually do for seated. And really, it's in big part about making sure we've got the right posture, but also that we are the same as any qigong session I lead. We're connecting with the body, so to make sure that you know your limitations and that you're listening to what feels right for you. And we're connecting to the movements, the breath, and the body. But we're still going to be getting that chi, that life force energy flowing, whether we're standing or seated. So you're in good company, you're in the right space, and I'm excited to share this session with you today. My name is Stella, and I am a qigong shibashi instructor. I love Tai Chi and qigong, so I've been a student of qigong and Tai Chi for around 6 years, maybe a bit more, and I loved it so much. It brought so much health and vitality, and also mindfulness and relaxation into my life when I really needed it, and I think we all need that, don't we? So I loved it so much that I decided to train so I could share it with other people, and I've been doing that for a good few years, and it's an absolute pleasure when I see people connect to the practice and see how they just get so much of what they need from it. It's kind of like they're plugged into something like sort of a recharging energy, the universal life force energy. When we don't have it, we're depleted. We feel run down, we feel off, we feel heavy. When we tune into the energy of the universe, this life force that makes up everything, it's just energy, we feel revitalized, we feel lighter, we feel more balanced. So that is what qigong can bring into our life, which is pretty great, I think, and I'm sure you'll agree. Okay. So for the session today, I want you ideally, I know it's not always possible, particularly if you're using a wheelchair and you might have arms on the wheelchair that can't be removed. So in that instance, just be extra aware that you're not going to hurt your arm, not going to catch yourself, for example. So you might need to adjust the moves. But ideally, we want a chair like what I'm sitting on. So it's a standard chair and you haven't got any arms. That's the ideal. And we want it to be positioned so that you've got room to move without hitting something. Not always easy, even I'm struggling a bit here. So we just need to be aware of our space. But ideally, we're going to be moving our arms, so you want to have a nice bit of space around you. And please have some water, some kind of refreshment. Water's ideal, just to keep ourselves hydrated. It's quite warm where I am in Norfolk today. You can tell by the sun. I know it's a bit bright, so I do apologise. But yes, it's beautifully warm. So I'll make sure that we stay hydrated. Okay. When we're practicing qigong, there's a few things that I want you to be aware of. So sometimes when we get the energy moving, we might notice sensations around the body and the hands. We might feel a flush of heat or energy. Because it's particularly warm, because we're seated, that's already in our favour. So we're not so worried about maybe having a little fall or getting a head rush. But I just want you to be aware that you can take a break at any time, take really good care of yourself, and take it nice and slowly. You can always come back to this if you need to. Okay. We're going to do some really gentle stretches to warm up the body, and this is mostly to get rid of some of the tension we might be holding in our shoulders, in our arms, and our upper body. So we're going to warm up the body together. These are the stretches I use in all my classes. They're Chen Tai Chi stretches. So the Tai Chi, Chen Tai Chi family have been doing these stretches for decades and decades. They're a really great way just to get rid of that tension and have the body and the energy move and flow. And then we'll go into some qigong. We're going to do some qigong set 1 today. It's nice and basic. It's really good for seated. And we'll do a few other energy balancing exercises. Okay, so I want you to begin by making sure that we've got the right posture. So we want to make sure that our feet are planted, if possible, planted on the floor, and you've got a nice straight back. So you don't want to be slouched like this. You want a nice straight back. So that might mean that there's a gap between you and the back of the chair. So you're edged forwards to have your feet flat. Obviously, really depends on what you're using, and I appreciate that we're doing this session from home, so you might be on a sofa, which isn't ideal. But if that's all that you have, then you can make it work. Just make sure you've got a nice straight back, feet flat. And I want you to just begin to tune into that posture. And you want to imagine you've got a string coming up from the top of your head, connecting your head to the heavens above. So you can almost imagine it sort of lifting you up, giving you this nice, tall, strong posture. So we're opening the body up. We're not slouched, we're opening the body up. And the feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. So they're not together, you've got a bit of a gap. And if you don't have sensation in any parts of your body, you can still participate. I want you to know that you can still use your amazing mind and imagination to connect with the movements, to imagine it, and you'll still get a benefit. Research shows that mind-body connection is incredibly powerful. So please, give that a go if that appeals to you. So let's start stretching. We're going to start tapping before we start stretching. Sorry. So we're going to just cup the hand. So it's just a slight cup. So it's not completely flat. We've got a slight cup shape, and we're going to start tapping around the sternum. Nice and gently, just find the right firmness for you. And begin to tune in with your breathing. And as you begin to tune in with your breathing, you might become aware of where you are holding tension in your body, around the shoulders, for example. And we just become aware of it for now. That's okay. Not making it wrong. Try not to judge it. Just notice it. We're going to tap down the arm. Try not to let your shoulders go as you do this. Try and keep them nice and relaxed. Clapping the hands and coming back up the same arm all the way up. Give your upper back of your shoulder a nice tap. Can help to hold your elbow. Coming down, tapping all around, just under the collarbone. And doing the same on the other side. Tapping all the way to the end, just clapping the hand, keeping that cup shape. Coming back up, holding the elbow. Coming back down. Coming down your centre line to your stomach. So you can tap, or you might just give it a nice rub. Whatever feels good for you. Always depends on what kind of breakfast you might have had today, how you're feeling, but we're just nourishing the space, waking up, supporting the digestion a bit. We're also nourishing our lower dantian, which is just here below the navel. It's like our energy center. It's where we're banking all of this energy that we're going to be cultivating today with the qigong. There's a lot going on in this area, so it's good to really give it some nourishing support, nourishing love. Okay, so we'll do a few tapping points around the face as well. We're going to start with tapping the top of the head, just nice and gently around the top, and begin to take some nice deep breaths. Tapping around the forehead. So sometimes we carry quite a lot of tension in our face that we might not be aware of. This is a chance to let some of that go, soften the face, soften the brow. You can almost imagine stress just rolling away, leaving your face, smoothing it out. Tapping the inner eyebrows, where the eyebrows begin on both sides, just tapping here and taking a nice deep breath. Outer eyes, just on the temples either side, tapping nice and gently. So we're tapping on points around the body that are connected to the meridian system. The meridian system is like a process of energy moving around the body. It's kind of like streams. Imagine you've got these streams around the body, the system, and we want them to flow and to move. So energy moves around nicely, keeps us nice and balanced and healthy. But sometimes it gets blocked and stuck. Let's tap under the eyes, nice deep breath. Sometimes it gets blocked or stuck. So we need to bring it back into balance. Partly what we're doing now is tapping and helping energy to move and to clear. And with the qigong, we're doing the same thing. We're helping that energy to move and to clear. Under the nose, nice deep breath. Just tapping under the mouth, nice deep breath. Good. Now we're going to help the jaw to let go of some tension. So you can do this by tapping or massaging, but just give the jaw some attention. So we're just helping it to let go of some of what it might be holding. And sometimes some of us will be holding tension here and not even realize it. And this is part of the work of connecting with the body through practices like qigong, mindful practices where we tune into the body that usually we might be disconnected from. We're too busy or maybe up in our head or going about our to-do list. When I say up in our head, it might be that we're worrying about things, thinking about things a lot. When we tune into our body, we might find there's actually been a lot of tension and blocked energy being held. That's going to be causing us issues. So through these practices, we become aware and we're able to do something about it. We're able to soften and to release. Okay, we're going to massage the earlobes, starting at the bottom of the ears. Then we're going to work our way up. Make sure you don't rush this. You want to give them a nice massage all the way to the top. And gently massaging all the way down. Making a V shape with your fingers, placing one finger in front of the ear and one behind, and just stroking up and down. Good. And we're going to place a finger either side of the nose and just gently push up and take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. It might look a bit silly, but it's really good for clearing a bit of your sinuses. It's good if you've got congestion. One more breath. You might notice you feel a bit clearer. Good. Okay, so let's go into some stretches. So remember the posture, nice straight back, feet planted if possible, interlocking our fingers, and we're rotating our wrists. So we can already begin to tune into some of the philosophy of the qigong, which is mindfulness, connecting to the breath, softening the body. Change the way that we're rotating. So some of these stretches, some of these moves, you might not be able to do, and that's perfectly okay. You know, you can use this session as whatever feels right for you. Miss things out, adapt them. It's all good. You don't need to push yourself. In fact, this is not intended for you to push yourself. It's quite the opposite. Now we're going to do a little stretch, feeling that nice stretch at the bottom and coming up the other way. So the Shibashi Qigong that I practice and teach, there's a philosophy to it that says if you could do 100%, dial it back and do 70, which makes it really accessible and a great practice for those of us that might not be able to, you know, give 100% or might find if we do, then we sort of feel depleted or the idea of not being able to hit the mark, we might feel like we're, you know, failing. So this idea of doing 70% is really nice philosophy that we take into the practice. And the other way. Okay, we're going to bring the thumb and the fingers together nice and gently. So remember what I said, listen to your body. If this is comfortable, then great. If not, you can miss it out. So we're just going to place them here around the collarbone. And we're going to open up the arms and bring them down. So we're just working out some stagnation, some tension that might be being held here. And we like to do this. I like to do this, and I've been taught in my classes to do this, because the more relaxed we are, the more you'll get from the qigong practice, the more that energy will flow around those meridians, those strings around your system. Because any tension is going to act as a sort of a blockage. It's going to create resistance in the system. And the other way. Okay. Keeping the hand here, we're going to turn the waist slightly and bring the arm back, and the same on the other side. So we're turning the waist slightly, bringing the elbow back on both sides. So a bit more about the philosophy of qigong. What we're doing is we're working with this qi energy that I've mentioned. Qi energy is a life force energy. It's essential. We all need it. We're all made up of it. It's running through us in life all the time. But as I mentioned, it can get blocked and stagnated, particularly if we're living out of alignment, like environmentally or socially, if we are spending time in environments that don't feel quite right for us, if we are doing activities that don't feel quite right, the other way. Or maybe there's other health stuff going on, mental, physical things that are impacting us. Life will always throw us out of balance. It's inevitable. But we want to be optimally healthy and able to return to balance nice and quickly. So qigong is a great way to help us to get that life force, that balance, as soon as possible. Give your shoulders a bit of a shake. Okay, next we're going to, again, keep that nice straight back, bring the arms out in front of you. We're going to turn them to the side and just look over our shoulder, having a nice stretch, holding that. So we should be holding some of that strength in our core and around our lower dantian. And the same on the other side. Good. One hand on the hip. Just let your arm hang over for a few seconds. And as you breathe, you can soften. And you might sink and stretch a little bit more, but be careful not to overstretch. And the same on the other side. Good. Okay. What we'll do next. So now we're going to bring our fists together really soft. So we never clench tight. We don't want that tension, remember. So it's nice and soft. We're going to jab twice with our elbows. 1, 2. Then palms up. 1, 2. So elbow, elbow, palm, palm. Elbow, elbow, palm, palm. So you're just going with a natural stretch and bounce. You don't need to force anything. Well done. Okay. Now we're going to bring our arms up, and I want you to imagine you've got this space as if you're hugging a tree. Okay, so this is like a seated qigong pose, very traditional one, and we want to make sure that our armpits have got the right distance. So you don't want them to be so close. We can use this analogy of an orange to measure it. So we don't want them to be so close that the orange is squished and we've got the juice everywhere. We don't want the armpits so open that the oranges will just fall out. So we've got these small oranges just being held there in our armpits. Hope that analogy makes sense. And we've got our hands out like so. And I want you just to gently bring your fists together. So we're going to just gently hold them here. It can help to connect your thumbs just to keep that connection. Become aware of your shoulders. You've probably gained some tension. So let's invite the shoulders and the arms to soften and let go. A few percent of softening is enough. And we're going to gently turn the waist. We want to keep our fingers on the center line, which is the chest and the belly button. So as we turn the waist, those thumbs are going to stay on our center line. We're going to turn back the other way. It's a very subtle turn in the waist. You almost can't see it as you're observing me, but my waist is now facing to the side. So this center line, those thumbs are in line with my chest. Just gently turning, making sure we keep that center line. So what we don't want to do is just be doing this. It's all moving together. And remember, don't overturn. You want a medium turn at 70%. Well done. Put a bit of strain on the shoulders, so give them a bit of a shake. Good. Okay. We're just going to shake out some of the energy that we've been working out and help it leave the body. So we're just shaking out the hands like this. And like this. Good. And next the neck. So gently, nice and slowly turning to the side. And we're going to let the neck turn as far as it's comfortable to. And we'll stop the neck and we'll let the eyes have a good stretch and look behind as far as they can. Gently coming back into the center. Same on the other side. Gently looking up. Gently looking down. And let's regain that posture. Just keeping ourselves nice straight back. Okay, so we're a little bit warmed up. And we'll go into a little Wuji meditation just to help us balance and soften the body a bit more, ready for the practice. And then we'll share some Shibashi together. So we're going to have some water because it's quite warm, as mentioned. So please do have some yourself. With this work, we're moving energy. We're moving that chi. We're healing. It's a healing practice. Qigong is more than just an exercise. There's a lot of healing that's happening in this process. It's almost like a whole health system in its own right. It's really engaging a lot of levels: mind, body, soul, physical health, emotional health, mental health. There's a lot going on. Spiritual connection, if that's something you're interested in. You can access Qigong at any level, whatever feels right for you. But the healing and the moving of the energy requires hydration. We need to make sure we stay hydrated. Okay. So I'd like you to connect in with that string at the top of your head, connecting you to the heavens, keeping your head nice and tall, nice straight back, feet planted if possible. Let's just place our hands for a moment on our thighs, again, if you can. And I want you to do a scan of the body, starting at the top of the head. Just gently scan, moving your attention down through your body. Scanning your face, your neck, shoulders, back, arms, and become aware of any areas that might feel a bit tense or a bit niggly, or whatever sensations you notice. We're all different and unique, and our body speaks to us all in different ways. One person might get nervous butterflies, or somebody else might get tension in their shoulders or neck to show them that something's out of balance. So follow that scan down further through your torso, your tummy, your hips, all the way down your legs, all the way to your feet. And I'd like you to follow that back up your body nice and slowly. And this time I want you to allow yourself to breathe and soften into those places that are getting your attention. And if that doesn't feel possible, that's okay. You can just breathe and soften the whole body as much as you can. And I always say it, and I've already said it once in this session, softening the body just a few percent, the shoulders, the arms, the tummy, that's going to be enough to support your healing. That's going to be enough for change in your system. So softening just that few percent. Connecting to your breath now. We want to make these breaths nice, healthy belly breaths. So they're not shallow from the chest, they're nice and deep. We're going to be adjusting the movements we make with our arms to match your natural breathing rhythm. The key is not to be holding your breath or adjusting your breath. You want your breath to be natural, the anchor, the foundation to the practice. And everything else will flow and meet that. So the movements are adjusted. Okay, so we're going to begin. Opening the eyes, soft gaze, floating the hands up in front of us as we breathe in, and exhaling as we breathe out. Moving nice and slowly, because there's a small distance to cover. Softening and letting the shoulders relax as much as we can. I want you to focus on the sensation of moving your hands through the air nice and slowly. Focus on your breath. And if your mind wanders off, just bring it back to your breath and your hands moving through this air. Okay, now we're going to go into opening chest. So we breathe in, bring the hands up, open the chest, feel that nice stretch. Bring the hands in, we're breathing out all the way down. So it's in, out. In, out. Remember keeping that nice straight back, softening the shoulders. Feeling that opening energy, opening the heart and the chest. And then letting everything soften and sink into the earth as we exhale. Good. Now we're going to go into dancing with rainbows. So we place a hand above the head and one out nice and flat. So we look at that flat hand. You have to probably look at me to begin, but we want to look at that flat hand. We take a breath as we swap them over, and we look at the other outstretched hand, and we go the other way. So dancing with rainbows. I invite you to soften your shoulders a bit more because they're probably tensed up in this move. This one is quite a tough one for the arms, so don't worry if you're struggling, it's quite natural. Okay, coming down. Now we're going to go into circling arms. This is a really nice way to get your chi energized and moving. So we breathe in as we cross over and circle the arms, and we breathe out as we come down. We're just making these nice big circles. And I'd like you to focus on your palms moving through the air. Let your shoulders, your arms just fade away. And imagine this air around you is really thick, so you have to move very gentle, very graceful. And your arms are just floating up with the breath. Good. Okay, bring your hands out in front of us. We're facing our palms up. So this one might need to be adjusted or missed out, or the moves made smaller depending on your chair and your arm situation. So palms facing up. And we're going to turn the waist, like when we did that stretch, I was saying we turn the waist and the arm follows. We're going to do that. So we turn the waist as we breathe in, bringing the arm back. And as we exhale, we bring the arm forwards and turn the waist back to the front. So it's kind of like we're swimming through the air. Same on the other side. Breathe in, turn the waist, breathe out as you come forwards, turning the waist back to the front. And once you get the hang of it, do your checks. Can you soften a few % more? Focus in on your breathing. Make sure the movements match your breath. We're not aiming for perfection. It isn't about perfection. We're just being mindful as we can, and really just slowing down. Okay, palms facing up. Take a breath in. Bring the palms back and all the way up. This is called rowing boat. Exhale as you come down. Let everything sink and relax into the chair, into the earth. So when we do this practice, we can even soften the face. Like I said earlier in the stretches, we might hold tension. So can you soften your facial expressions a little bit more, as well as softening the body? Okay, letting your arms be by your side. We're going to do lifting ball. So we take a breath in as we lift the ball and turn the waist. And then we turn the palm over, float the ball back down as we exhale and bring the waist back to facing forwards. In, out, in, out. So you want to imagine that there's a ball of energy on your palm that you're lifting up with your breath and floating it down. And it doesn't weigh anything, it's really light. You might like to choose even just one of these moves or two that you particularly like and enjoy, that you can practice seated at home anytime you like. You don't have to remember all of the moves. You can come back to this video as often as you like to develop your practice. Okay, Now we're going to carry moon. So I want you to imagine you're holding this big full moon. And do you remember I said the lower dantian is just under your navel? So we're holding the big full moon there. We're going to take a breath in as we lift it up, looking up at the sky, this big full moon, having a bit of a stretch, just a bit to the back of our body. And then we breathe out as we bring that back to that central point. In. So we're stretching back a bit, giving ourselves a nice turn. Remember, don't overstretch or turn. 70% rule. Exploring that connection of the energy of this full moon in between your palms, if you can. Well done. Okay. Now we're going to push palm across the body. So we take a breath in to begin this time. And then we exhale as we turn the waist and gently push the palm diagonally across the body. We want to make sure we don't lock the arm out. Twist the palm. Breathe in as you bring it back in. Same on the other side. Exhale, gently turn the waist, pushing the palm. Twist. Breathe in as you bring it in. So it's that turn that gently pushes the palm. It's really soft. Nice yin energy, that soft energy in the arms. Okay, well done. Bring the hands up in front of us. One palm on top of the other. So similar to the stretch we did at the start, we want to keep these hands on our center line, that chest, that navel area. We're going to turn the waist nice and slowly. When you reach that comfortable point, we'll swap the palms over and go the other way. So remember, comfort is important. We don't want to overturn. You can focus your attention on the top palm, meditation and mindfulness, softening the shoulders, softening the arms, really being present. Okay, coming down, bringing our fists together very gently. We're going to breathe in and gently exhale as we punch into the air, nice and soft. Not locking the arm out, nice soft elbow. Breathe in as you bring it back in. So remember, you can imagine the air is really thick. So you have to be really gentle and graceful as you move. Exhale as you gently punch. Breathe in as it comes back into your dantian. Okay, now we're going to go into wild goose. Breathing in as we bring our arms up. Breathing out as we come down, just floating down like the feathers in the breeze. In, Remember to adjust the movement to match your breath. You might need to slow it down. This is often a favourite move that people take away. It's nice and simple, nice and gentle. It's really good if you feel overwhelmed or stressed. Okay, we're going to go into spinning wheel. So make sure you've got that posture still, nice straight back, planted feet where possible. We're going to breathe in as we spin the wheel all the way up and you look up at the sky. We're going to exhale as we breathe, bring the arms down, keeping the eyes at eye level, so avoid looking down. And we look up as we breathe in and spin, breathe out, keeping the eyes at eye level. Then when we reach that lower dantian, we'll go the other way. Okay, well done. So, nearly done. For this one, we're going to be gently lifting up the heel off the floor. So I know you can't see my heels very much, but you just use your imagination as I explain it to you. So we're going to take a breath in. We'll lift the heel of one of the feet off the ground, and then exhale as we come down. Okay, so that's just an example, but what we're going to do is bring in the hands as well. So I want you to lift up the palm of the opposite hand to knee. It will become clear. You might need a few minutes just to get the hang of it. So we're going to lift up the heel of the left foot and lift up the right hand as we breathe in. And we're going to exhale as we bring the heel down and the hand down. Same on the other side. Breathing in as we float up, the heel comes up. Breathing out as we come down. And if you feel you've got a strong enough core without bothering your back, you can lift your foot off of the floor. You want to make sure that you're a nice, strong core to do that. Good. And now we bring the palms together, facing up, moving nice and slowly as we breathe into the chest. Turn the palms over. Exhale as we come down. And I'm just going to do some moves called Gong to really help balance energy. For this, I'm going to be nice and quiet. I want you just to embrace everything we've explored in the session so far. So softening the body, connecting to your breath, matching the movements to your breathing. So that inhale as we come up, and the exhale where you let everything sink down and ground through your chair into the earth, making sure that we are as mindful as we can be. Okay, so breathing in. Fold the palms over and exhale. We regulate that chi. Gather that chi into your dantian. We'll do one more. Way to bring your hands to your lower dantian. So if you identify as a woman, you pop your left hand on the outside. If you identify as a man, you have your right hand on the outside. Just placing here, just on the lower dantian. We're just really nourishing, thanking all that energy, all that qi energy we've been cultivating into our lower dantian. The nice, sustained, balanced energy for the rest of your day, and hopefully even longer than that. So really breathe into that area. Give it a good rub. Good. Okay, and now we're going to brush off some of this stagnant energy we've been working out of the marrow of the bones. This is what the traditional Tai Chi families do. It's as if we're dusting, just dusting it off the outside of the arms, then the inside, the outside, to make sure you don't reabsorb it and it leaves the system. Brushing the body all over the legs and the head as well. Be careful if you've got glasses or earrings. So just helping the system really enjoy that nourishing balance of qi energy that we've just revitalized and got flowing. So thank you so much for joining the session today. I encourage you to take away one or two of the moves that we did and practice them. So just remember when you practice them, nice straight back, good posture, not slouching, ideally this chair without any arms, and yeah, connect to your breath, soften the body, be as mindful as you can, and remember the 70% rule. You don't want to give 100%, you want to dial it back and give 70%. Really allow yourself to just slow down and pause. And sometimes it's uncomfortable to slow down and pause because the world we live in can be quite busy and hectic and overstimulating. So if you feel any resistance to that slowing down, it's so natural, it's completely natural. Remember, just doing even a few minutes of this kind of practice a day, or even just the stretches, is going to really help you to develop your mindfulness and also to connect with your body, moving the body in a gentle way. Okay. Drink plenty of water, take really good care of yourself and listen to your body. Thank you so much for joining. I'll be back again soon to do some EFT tapping, some meridian tapping, and also some more qigong, standing qigong session next month. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I wish you qi healing. I'll see you soon.